Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 18 of Beth the Chef. Now, yes, I'd like to apologise for the last video, which was meant to be the souffles, but technical issues, and unfortunately, it didn't upload. But I will put an image showing you the souffle, and we'll have another crack at it in the next couple of weeks. Well, fingers crossed this video uploads. And I'd also like to show you my top. So yeah, Beth the Chef, lovely husband David created this top, so thank you to him. Yeah, might be a Mother's Day gift, eh? Let's crack on with this episode. But today we're going to, let's say, go a little Tom Carriage with good old pub grub, but done a little bit posher, and done very well, hopefully. So we've got medium rare sirloin steaks, and I'll go through different cooking temps if you have different preferences to medium rare. We're doing my version of a peppercorn sauce, and and we got some Pont Neufs, which I just fancy triple cooked chips. So yeah, a lot to crack on with. So without further ado, let's cook. Alright, so the first stage is to start with our Pont Neuf, because there's 3 processes of cooking. And the first process is for boiling. So I've got a pan of water, and I'm just bringing it to the boil. And I've peeled 5 big potatoes, and just going to cut the chips. Now we want to get, if it's serving 2, we want to get 18. They're like 9 each. So yes, I'm going to cut there and just square it off, because you want nice neat chips. And in a moment I'll give you a little fun fact time, because we do like those fun fact times. And also you're probably wondering what Pont Neuf means, so yes, you will find out. And have a look as you're going along, see if they stack right. You get a general idea as you're going along. Right, so now you can see the water's up to the boil, and now I'm actually going to lower the heat to low to medium heat, and in go our Pont Neufs. make sure they're covered. Been doing this for too long. My hands, yeah, they don't feel much on heat anymore. So that's gonna be left like that, doing its thing for about 10 minutes. So in the meantime, fun fact time, whey! So of course, these beauties, you get 9 of them, but they were actually originally sold at Ches Clovis. Probably pronounced that wrong, but it was a little place that was on the Pont Neuf bridge in Paris, obviously where they get their name from. And yeah, it's just really a damn good chip, triple cooked. In the meantime, we're gonna have a look at our peppercorn sauce. Right, so don't worry if you can hear a weird, like, whirring noise. The boiler's just switched on. What can you do? But once your potatoes are done, and you don't want them like fully cooked or really soft, because you want to maintain that shape. So yeah, strain them and just lie them out on a board, a chopping board. And they're just going to go in the fridge to dry out for about half an hour. In the meantime, I gathered up the ingredients for the peppercorn sauce, so we'll go through that next. Right, so yeah, everything's here for the peppercorn sauce. Now, probably a bit of preference really, but I love the flavour of peppercorn sauce, but I'm not keen on actually biting down on the peppercorns. So it's still peppercorns, but I've got the amount ground up, and here is about 1.5 to 2 teaspoons. I've got brandy, simple one from Tesco, but later on we're gonna add 3 tablespoons. In here is 200 ml of red wine, or we've got port. I've got 200 ml of beef stock, and this is just like bought beef stock, but hey, we've made fish stock from scratch before. Let's see if we can do some at home in the future. Roasting bones in our little oven, how about that? I got another butter and just 1 very finely diced white onion, and well, we've got some cream for later on, but this is quite straightforward, easy to do. You just have to be a little patient because there's a lot of reducing liquids down, which you will see in just a moment. Right, so got pan on, then gives a butter, and gives an onion. And I just want to sweat this onion down. It's nice and soft, but not caramelized or anything like that. So our onions are lovely. And yeah, just gonna add 3 tablespoons of brandy. And you want to reduce this brandy down to almost nothing. And then we're going to add the red wine. I'm just going to get a bit of salt in there. And I won't stir it, just here and there, just with the pan. So yeah, we're pretty much there. You can see the onions absorb a lot of the butter and the brandy. We're going to add the wine. And I'm going to add the pepper later on when we add the stock. But we want to reduce this down by half. In the meantime, I'm going to set the fryer to 120 for the second cooking process of the Pont Neufs. Right, so I've added the pepper and the beef stock into the pan, the sauce, and we're going to reduce it a bit more. We want to reduce it this time by 2/3. So in the meantime, I've got my fryer set up. And yes, on a very low setting, 120. And we just want to blanch these about 4 to 5 minutes, but keep an eye on them. And then they'll transfer back to the board to dry out again a little bit more. And then we'll look towards actually cooking the steaks. Right, so now's the right time to get your steaks out, get them to good room temperature before cooking. And these are just from the butcher's down the road. It's MC Butchers in Blackpool. And the cut of sirloin, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Oh yeah. So you've got great marbling in there of the fat. And it's that's another reason why you should get your steaks out really to room temperature before cooking, because you want these fats to in a way relax. And I'm just turning my sauce off. And if you don't let it get to room temperature, the muscles and the fibres will tighten, and that's a result of getting a tougher steak. So here I'm just going to season them, and I'm just going to season with some salt and some mixed herbs. I don't want to add any more pepper because I want the sauce to do the singing. And I'm going to season either side, and Oh, actually, I'll talk a little bit about the cuts of these. So the sirloin is sort of the lower back of a cow, which is where you get the muscle along with the nice marbling of fat there. Lower down from that is your rump steak, which is quite a favourite as well with many people. And I could go through all the cuts and things, but I'll just talk to you about them and the frontal area, the boobies. Now from there you get your brisket, and if you think of where that area is on yourself, it's quite not fatty, but you know what the tissue is like there, and that explains why a brisket would require more of a slower cooking process. Right, so I've just melted my butter here, and yeah, there's about 25 grams in there, and then we're going to add this Worcestershire sauce, and this is the key for your steak to have a good flavour. Add a generous amount. And I've melted it not only to mix the Worcestershire sauce in well, but I can put some underneath, put the steak on, and then put some on top as well while cooking. Make sure it gets all through that nice juicy steak. Right, so yeah, get your skillet nice and hot, or just a large frying pan if you've not got a skillet. And we're going to cook our steaks. Now the key to your steaks is we're doing a medium rare, so 2.5 to 3 minutes each side. But if you are going for medium, add on an extra minute each side. So I'm going to add some butter. And then try and put our steaks in the pan. And move them over slightly. Got some tomatoes as well. They should absorb the nice flavours and the butter there. You can also, baste the steak here and there. But of course we're going to be turning it over in a moment. While they're doing their thing, I'm going to finish my sauce off with the cream. There we are. There's about 70 ml of cream there. That's double cream. And look into cooking your chips a final time as well. So for the final time of your chips, you want to set your fryer to 170 and should take a couple minutes, but just so they're nice and golden brown. So they're just resting now. And the key for resting is to rest your steaks and other meats for half the time it taken to cook them. Well, now we're ready to assemble our dish, and I've just cut a little bit so you can see. Nice pink in there, medium rare. So on goes each steak. A lovely tomato. Pont Neufs. And a drizzle of our sauce. And there we have it. So medium rare. It all varies on the thickness of the steak. Sirloin steak with our lovely peppercorn sauce and our Pont Neufs. So spread the word, Beth the chef, and please check out the real side. There's a lot of tricks, and we're coming up with a new menu towards the Easter time, so keep an eye out for that. And join us next week, where we are going to be a little bit American inspired with a tonka bean roulade filled with raspberry chantilly cream, and then finished with a hot peanut butter sauce. Bon appetit!